What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Civilization 5 community AI only battle. And at the end of the last video, of course, we had the biggest war probably so far. Maybe, may not be like, I don't know, it's the biggest. They've both got the biggest armies of two people to go at and fight each other so far, technically. So, you know, I think Ethiopia, Belgium, at the time it started, might have had more. And maybe at the time, even though now it's obviously it was a long time ago when Belgium and the Moors broke out, this is going to have so much more impact. So I'm just going to say this is the biggest, most important one. Samoa has peaced out with the Zulu, so that's good for them. Oh my goodness, the Incans. Okay, well I thought Australia had a chance. This is unbelievable. I mean, they're ignoring these boats, but this is powerful. Okay, the Incans going to destroy the Australian Navy. Not sure whether they're going to recover this city from Brazil, but that's a shame. But yeah, this is just incredible strength they're showing here. Obviously, Texas aren't really putting in too much of a fight down here. They're just ignoring it at the moment. The Celts have a settler in the Atlantic. No idea what they're doing with that. There's not really much land down this way. Don't really know where they're going. Africa is the last continent to go into processing. So we'll come back and look at this, which is going to be huge in a minute. But at the moment, the Moors are going. And I don't think they're up to anything right now. They're just sort of rebuilding. As we saw, they're in a big old war with Belgium for a long time. Belgium have recovered. It looks like they're probably... Stalin might survive here. Question is, will Moscow survive? Yeah, it will. I can guarantee it already. There is some artillery here and there's some cannons, but these Gatling guns are the definition of useless. So I'm sure he's fine. But we will find out. And he has planes. Like, if he didn't need more incentive. It's crazy how big Mongolia's army is. The problem is he's surrounded by two of the other biggest armies in the world, the Huns and Vietnam. And obviously Korea aren't like, they're no pushovers, Korea. And they appear to be friends anyway. They've got open borders, so wouldn't expect anything there. Vietnam have now completed the Manhattan Project. A long time since Samoa completed it, but we might see Vietnam actually building a nuke potentially soon. Who knows? They're still using World War I era planes. Oh, okay, I tell a lie. They have bombers. Maybe we'll see them with a nuclear weapon pretty soon. But Samoa, of course, are yet to get there, despite having that project for a long time. And it looks like Inca. This could generally... There's a lot here. I think the Incans could have a really good... If they send all of this stuff and they commit, I could see the Incans like taking cities in Australia, which is crazy. Those bombers aren't going to be nice to deal with, but that could be crazy. Okay, Nigeria's turn to respond. It looked like Burundi came close. I think Burundi went first, yeah, and then they didn't quite make it. This is going to be huge. Now, there's no navy for Burundi, which is going to make it interesting. Nigeria do have that, but these submarines are rendered pretty much useless. And Burundi has... I mean, what? Nigeria's got 10 planes. Burundi has got 10 planes, so it's a straight-up fight there. This is going to be fascinating. The problem is this city's sort of cut off as well. And obviously if Lagos falls, Burundi are going to be in a good position. The problem is obviously they can't defend it navally in the same way that, they just don't have a navy to defend it. If they were to take it, Nigeria can take it back with boats. Maybe these battleships would play the big part. Obviously these Galeasses aren't going to do it. Although saying that, don't see any melee boats for Nigeria. No. Not even an ironclad in sight. Although, actually, they have some privateers out here right in the middle of the southern Atlantic. So that might help them, to be fair. And, Samoa took northern Madagascar for the Zulu. Just to make things nice and weird for us. I didn't notice that. There you go. This city is now under Samoan control. Just to add some spice to the... Add something interesting to the southern half of Africa, which is pretty boring right now, although Burundi obviously are spicing it up, but that's in the middle. We'll ignore that. Kilwa seem to be safe. I don't think India have enough, and they're not really, these guys aren't going to go over in time. It's probably not enough. It probably need to be Ethiopia actually to go down here and take them out. I mean, Rhodesia could probably do it, but they just don't really want to, do they? Or they would have done it by now. Would have done it a long time ago. How is this looking? Yeah, this is not looking good, Australia. This is coming for you. And I mean, you have a ton of diggers, but they're not going to defend you from these boats. And I mean, there's a few more boats down in Ethiopia, by the way, might be about to settle New Zealand, which is pretty cool. And let's see how the Soviets are getting on right now. It looks like, oh, the siege has begun, and maybe Austria will find some success here. I'm not sure. It's going to be close. Obviously, they're still trying to hold Belgium off from taking Minsk here, so definitely, obviously, Moscow should be the priority. And if Attila was to get involved here, it would change things. Mongolia, I think, is also coming to get involved in this war, potentially. I'll have to check. Right, yeah, I assume that's what Mongolia are doing, and Korea maybe as well, who are moving a big chunk of their army through Mongolia. That's never good news. Also, look at all these paratroopers now for Vietnam. It is going to be a nightmare for anyone to go after them right now. And yet maybe we still have hope that Samoa could compete with them. Maybe. I think if it comes down to the info addicts, I feel like Ethiopia don't have enough to compete with it anymore. It's hard, but yeah, I just don't think Ethiopia could compete with that. Because, you know, I mean, it looked like they might when they took all this stuff from Europe, but then Vietnam just went and took Japan in a few turns. So it's hard to sort of say that, you know, Vietnam are probably further ahead now than they were before those wars broke out. So not looking good, but if it comes down to info addicts, I get the feeling Samoa might be able, because we do, if you're new here, the results are always done on info addict. There's no vote, because obviously that's kind of a bit biased if I let you pick at the start on who you want to win. Obviously if your Civ is dead, then there is that, but still. Yeah, we do it by the info addict system. I have a point system I always use. I think it works quite well, so I'm going to stick with it. And that might give Samoa a chance, because, you know, they're keeping up. They're just not as large, and they are finally being overtaken, it would seem, if they haven't already. I mean, we can have a look in a bit. Probably turn 350 will give the info addicts one final look, and then probably dive into the final 50 turns that we'll get to see. And then once the results come out at 400, it will probably off video, or maybe I might actually stream it this time, something a little different, try and get to 500. Well, that'll be quite a few hours, so maybe not. But we'll see. There's a lot of attrition here, just what you'd expect. I assume there's like a ability of Stalin, just attrition to invaders, possibly. Yeah, Mongolia, I think, probably heading over this way. But Attila, on the other hand, is looking very, very strong right here. He's got 12 planes positioned around the Middle East. He's got another one up here. Dang, though. Look at this army. That's crazy. And Stalin has peaced out with Belgium. Probably a good thing. And bad news for Austria, I would imagine, who actually have planes now. They just got them. And they have artillery and more great war infantry. And the more that gets over here, the better. But this could be interesting. Problem is, maybe we'll see some more Soviet units coming back to defend. Leningrad is pretty undefended too, just bear in mind, it's just that the Moors have got... They have infantry, to be fair, but most of it's archaeologists out here, so not much defence, really. The Iroquois-Sioux War is ongoing, but sort of grinded to a halt for both of them. Just make sure the submarine's okay over there. I need to watch out, because Samoa could actually kill it, in theory, if they got over here. Burundi, don't overstretch yourself. Declaring war on Byzantium, that doesn't matter. They are still alive. Constantinople's still here. The citadels have driven them to just into Turkey now. Mali even declaring a war. Wow, Mali. Wow. Also, Mali just settled here. I think they already had all this land, but they just wanted a coastal city. Pretty smart idea, to be fair. I mean, they might lose it, but pretty smart, I guess. 6 population. 6 planes there. But yeah, Mali versus Byzantium, that's a bit weird. I'm sure they'll be safe. And let's see, Burundi yet to fight them off. All the Nigerian units from the north are now here to defend Lagos, and the battle will begin. Burundi seem to probably have a bit more artillery. I think they may just come out on top. But let's have a look at how South America's doing right now. The Australians are definitely doing damage to the Incans with planes. The thing is, yeah, the Incans are just a bit confused here, because Australia's got these carriers, which is really cool to see carriers. Oh no, do you know what this is? This might... No, I feel like this Brazilian artillery couldn't shoot this far. I feel like it has to be the Australian planes, but then... It's probably Brazil's planes as well. It's probably a mix. But yeah, this city could fall if a unit slips in, and this Great War Infantry is definitely a possibility to take this. The Incans will have to destroy this. It depends who goes first next turn, but yeah, Brazil could definitely end up grabbing this. The Incans should be able to take it back quite easily. They too have a lot of planes over here. Just maybe they get distracted. They may end up losing this island. I think it's Jamaica. Not 100% sure, but this one, if they're not careful, definitely a possibility. The Celts just entered the modern era. Yeah, if Texas get a melee unit over here, I mean, it's going to be different. I mean, the Incans don't have many boats, but even with bombardment and artillery, it's going to be tough. But if they can send a few at the same time, they might just grab that island, Texas. For themselves, I think, obviously, chill with Polynesia. Open borders between those two right now. Let's see if Belgium recover at all now. They're still at war with Ethiopia, I think. Maybe they pieced that one. They're piecing out a lot. Byzantium as well. Maybe they're not at war with Ethiopia. Either way, they need to recover a little bit. They lost quite a bit. I mean, they're still a powerhouse in Europe if they can recover everything. Austria are now finally doing something, which alleviates some of the pressure on them. And Austria are struggling, as we would expect them to be. This was never going to be easy. The Moors are definitely in the way, and I know why they didn't just go after the Moors all that time that Belgium was going after them. Would have made so much more sense. Polynesia are definitely terrified right now. They just probably see Vietnam like, uh-oh, this is bad. They see the Incans as well, and probably Texas as well. Just all the strong civs are surrounding Polynesia now. Samoa as well. Samoa, the Incans, Texas and Vietnam. That is not a sandwich you want to be in the middle of. Okay, let's see how this is going. Burundi is doing their best, and it's now Nigeria's turn to respond. This city is at 0 health. There's a Great War Infantry in the sea. Now unless it dies, if it doesn't die now, and actually lived, so if Burundi destroy like one of this Galeas, they could snip in, take the city. Problem is there's far too many Nigerian units still here, so there's still plenty of fighting to go just yet. Congo's pretty undefended, and this submarine's going to have a lovely time just picking off those embarked units. Going to find it very easy. And Ethiopia, let's just check. Yeah, I don't think they're doing anything anymore because they would be bombing Ghent there. I think this city's just taking ages to recover. India's not attacking them. India, who we haven't really paid much attention to, is still here. Not to worry. Most of their stuff is, of course, over here right now, failing, and yeah, it's given up at this point. Yeah, they're not having the best time, but Delhi's at 30 population, so we'll give them some credit for that. There's only a few cities at over 30 population. Hanoi is one of them, 36. A lot of the 2 more are about to come out of Samoa, but Apia here's the biggest in the world, I think, at 38. Other 30 plus, I don't think, is there any in North America that are that big? Austin's only at 23, and I imagine that's the biggest. Sisseton here, which isn't even the original Sioux capital. It's incredible they've done better. The Shoshone still have their capital, the Sioux don't, and the Sioux are doing so much better and actually settled another city only a little while ago. They just started settling like crazy. 24 Onondaga from the Iroquois, actually. Looks like it's the biggest in the New World. Cusco is also at 24. Actually, Rio is at 31. Never mind, I'm mistaken. Yep, Rio is huge. The Brazilians didn't quite take this. They might do it next turn, to be fair. The Incans are trying. Oh, Samoa. Okay, we'll look at Australia in a second. Samoa versus Australia. I just want to finish this search for any other 30 plus population cities. In Africa, Thebes is at 31. There's a few big ones here. Burundi has some massive ones, 29, but not quite a 30. Any other 30s? In Europe, I think Brussels is 31. The Moors don't have any. 22, 23s there, 22s across Austria. Moscow's at 24, Leningrad 22. The Huns have 2. Niamey here, I don't know if that's how you say it. The Huns just pick random names. 30. Also Attila's court at 30. And that's, I think, the whole world. Unless I missed Mongolia, but they don't have any. So there you go. There's a few 30 population cities, and we actually have a new ideology of all things to pop up right now. The Celts, just, you know, beating the dead horse and going autocracy. As someone said, it does suit a domination-only game. So it's not actually the biggest surprise in the world. just add that to my book that I didn't think I needed anymore. I mean, the Celts, I mean, I can imagine that with the Celts doing it, the only people I could see that still need to do it are Kilwa and the Shoshone, probably. I feel like everyone else has probably picked one at this point. And yeah, the Kilwa and the Shoshone probably won't even make it before the end of the game. That's where I can imagine is the sort of stage we're at right now with regards to that. So that's kind of helpful. Samoa, this will be interesting. A much closer threat. Oh, wait, no, the Zulu just went autocracy too. I mean, that shouldn't be a surprise. Shaka is like the king of autocracy. He is everything that defines being militaristic. But yeah, let's see. The Incans are obviously here. They're going to cause some damage to Australia as long as they can protect themselves, which they should be able to. And Samoa are obviously going to make things that little bit harder. Make a proposal. No, thank you. Oh, wait, I need to make one. But either way. No. I don't want to embargo anybody. Commit proposal. Yes. That is going to be it for this episode. As always, if you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.